And be honest, because a lot of people, they have some aversion to God, right? And a lot of crazy stuff's going on in that name.
Yeah, I feel like being born and growing up in Germany, I've learned to be very rational and mind-based, and throughout the past maybe 2 years, I've been connecting more to that inner core of mine, trying to get out of the mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the more I do that, the more I can see and feel God in everything. I feel like the more I go into that, also the less of a maybe fixed definition of God I have. Because growing up in Germany, it was maybe Christian God, those ideas. But now I feel like it's more of experiencing God in every being and everything and inside of me. Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful.
So, not today, but perhaps another time we can give a class on infallible dialectics, or what in Sanskrit what's called Achyuta Siddhanta, the logical and rational establishment of God. So, if you really follow the scientific methodology thoroughly, then you'll arrive at the conclusion there must be this all-powerful supreme being. And all great theologians in the four main theistic religions have all come to the same conclusion. And so in Islam, Ibn Sina called him the necessary being. In Christianity, Thomas Aquinas called him the prime mover. And in the Vedic traditions, he's called Ishvara. But that's in relation to who is the creator and the origin of this universe. But today is a special day. What's today?
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, right? So we should speak something about the mother. So today we'll take a little bit of a dive into the esoteric end. Because sometimes we think of God, okay, he's the creator and he's the maintainer and he's the origin and he's some old guy sitting on a chair or something like this. All these human ideas, and we impose that onto the transcendent being. But that's all related to God when he's at work. But when God gets home, takes his hat off, and is relaxing with his friends, who's God in that circumstance? And that's called revealed theology. So in order to enter into that field of revealed theology, your logic and rationale cannot reach that domain of existence. So you need a different methodology to investigate that. So this practice of chanting the Mahamantra, it cleanses the consciousness. And Avivattam Namanamino, God is non-different from his name. So as our consciousness becomes clear, then as we're chanting this Mahamantra, then all the pastimes of our Supreme Lord in his sweet eternal abode, it gets revealed to us. And the great sages of our tradition and their transcognitive states of samadhi, of trance, all the pastimes, many of the pastimes of the Lord have been revealed to them. And then they've written those down. But there's no filter from the limited mind-body complex. It's a direct revelation to the soul. So this is something quite unique in our tradition. And very intimate and personal revelation of God has been given. So in Vedic culture, mother, she is called Mata or Mataji. And this word's quite heavy because your first guru was Mata, mother, right? And in Vedic culture, if there's some lady who's older to you, you address her as Mataji because she's like mother and you should treat her like mother. But what do we call the father? Pita. But we don't call other males Pita, right? Only our own father. So this shows we give special respect to our own father. And then other older males, we call them uncle or something like this, you know. But with older females, everyone should be treated like Mataji. A lot of respect actually in Vedic culture, because formerly women had very high place in society. And so, Matra Devo Bhava. Mother is the first guru. And even all the Pita stream, they came from mother. Yeah? So if it wasn't for mother, no one would be around. And this entire material universe in Sanskrit is called Prakriti. And that's the female form, the consort of Shiva. So Parvati Devi, she is like the mother of the universe. And she has so many different forms, Durga, Kali, etc., etc. So mother has a very high place in Vedic culture. And so today I want to share a little bit about the ashra, the personified abode from which all motherly love emanates. Hare Krishna. Hmm? So, who is the origin of all motherly love?
Krishna.
Motherly Vatsalya Bhav.
Yashoda.
Yashoda Maya. So, in our revelation, God has a mother. That's a logical impossibility. If God's eternal, how can he have a mother? But God has unlimited power. So if you say God doesn't have a mother, then you're limiting God, isn't it? So God can do anything he wants. And what is the nature of God and his relationship with his devotees? We'll explore that a little bit today. So you can have a relationship with God in what's called Panchrasa, 5 different categories, broad categories. First one is Shantaras. You know there's God, but you don't really feel inclined to serve. But you have some acceptance, some knowledge. And then the next one is called Dasya Bhav. You want to serve that supreme reality. Jivera Surupaya Oyera Krishnera Chidas Krishnera Tatasa Shakti Beta Beta Prakash. It is the eternal occupation, it is the eternal function of your soul to serve. You might say, well, no, I don't like serving. Someone should serve me because I am God. Many people actually have this mentality. And so, get into a relationship, something, and some problem comes. Oh, you should serve me like this. Why? Because I'm very important. So we have this Purusha Abhiman. I should enjoy. But actually, the greatest joy is in serving. When we're in egoic consciousness, then we want to be served. But when we even have a moment of purity, when we give a gift, we do some kind act, it fulfills us on a deeper level than actually just receiving something. So Francis of Assisi, he says, it's in giving that you truly receive. So that is just to give a little more background on that, every vastu, every object has its eternal swabhava, its eternal nature. Like it is the eternal function of fire to emit light and produce heat. It is the eternal function of salt to be salty. It is the eternal function of sugar to be sweet. Yeah? There's a concomitant property there. So every object has its inherent swabhava, its inherent nature, which can never be separated from it. But sometimes that swabhava, it can become covered. And it looks like, oh, that's not its eternal nature. And we can give an example. If you take water, it is the natural state of water to be soft and fluid. But then you take that water and you put it in the freezer, what happens? It becomes hard, yeah? And so then that natural state, it becomes covered. It becomes hard, and you think, oh, for a long time, the natural quality, just push the door. It's the natural quality of water to be hard. But then put that water out in the sunshine, again it returns its natural state as liquid. So the question comes, what is the natural function of your soul? Of your soul. Zane, what's the natural function of your soul that can never be lost? But then when you're healed, then what?
Soul for happiness, enjoyment, process of often love as well. Also kindness. Kindness, I believe, is that like true blessing is in giving. I love kindness. I often will sit at the park and feed the birds and watch how they move around me, and I really appreciate watching them. So I feel happy when I display an act of kindness by feeding birds or something like that.
So kindness is a form of giving, yeah?
Yes.
So it's the natural, the great rishis, the great sages, they have illuminated and shared with us. And this is shared across all traditions, both theistic and non-theistic. The natural function of the soul is to serve. And this is demonstrated in your own life, everyone here without exception, because you're serving your family, you're serving your children, you're serving your boss, you're serving your wife, you're serving your family. And if none of those work, then you get a cat and you become a crazy cat person and you serve the cat, because the soul wants a natural relationship to serve and have loving exchange. This is the natural state of the soul, completely natural. So that natural function can become covered, especially in Kali Yuga. This is the spiritual winter, and in the atmosphere it accentuates be selfish, enjoy, get the house, get this, get that. You can have material things, but it cultivates a self-centered mentality, this modern narrative. But put that soul out in the sun for some time and it thaws out, then the service propensity, it naturally manifests. So this bhakti yoga, this Krishna consciousness, is a process of that, to thaw the heart, to bring out that natural service propensity. So there's no big sectarian philosophy, it's natural to every living being. So that is the third one, Dasya Bhav, third relationship with God. And then the next one is Sakya Bhav, that is the relationship of friendship. God likes to have friends, why not? To have wrestling with his friends, to steal from food. Krishna is very playful. And then the next level, that is called Vatsalya Bhav, parental bhav. Some people have the mood, like in some religions, they worship God as the father. And then when you're the child, it is the parent's responsibility to take care of you, yeah? So it's like, I'm a helpless child and God provide. One of my teachers, he calls this the gimme religions. It should be the gimme mentality, because it's there in all religions. Gimme. It's okay, we least you're thinking of God in some way. But some special souls, they have the affection. I want God as my child, and I want to serve God. Is God hungry? Is God cold? Put a little blanket on him. Little Krishna, have you ever seen a picture of little Krishna? So sweet, little Gopal. So we want to hear about him today. And so that is the category of what's called Vatsalya Bhav, parental love for the Lord. And then the fifth and highest one, that is called Madhurya. That is when you have a conjugal mood towards the Lord. This is very high. So today we want to focus on Vatsalya Bhav because it's Mother's Day. So in Krishna consciousness, God has an eternal mother, and she is called Mother Yashoda. What's her name?
Mother Yashoda.
Mother Yashoda. So Yasha means one who gives fame to others. So Krishna's mum is so wonderful, she gave the fame to Krishna. Doesn't take it for herself. And also, anyone know the name of the Buddha's, Prince Siddhartha Gautama Buddha's wife?
Yeshua.
So it's got Yasha. Because she could have said, "Hey, you, come back to the house. You've taken vows, you should look after me." But she let him go. If your husband walked out of the window tonight, what would you do? "Oh yes, that's very wonderful. Oh, I see him down the street in the park sitting under a tree, I'll just leave him there for 6 years." Most ladies, they'll probably go, "Hey, come back, do the dishes." So she gave the fame to the Buddha. You go. If it wasn't for her, there'd be no Buddhism. So Yasha, she gave fame. So Nama Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam Lasa Kundalam Gokuli Brajanam. In the Damodar Ashtakam, it's described about the pastimes of little Krishna. This is coming from Padma Purana, from Satyavat Rishi. So there are many people praying to God in this world in different ways. There are yogis in the Himalayas who live for hundreds or thousands of years in meditation. There are people who give prostrations. There are people who give Vedic sacrifice. People are offering their breath, their mind, their words, so many different offerings to God. And barely one of them gets even a little glimpse of the tips of the toes of the Supreme Lord after so much sacrifice. And Krishna himself says, Krishna is a name for God, which means all attractive. Of all the beings in the universe, Krish, out of all of existence, that being who is Ananda, full of Ananda and most attractive, that is Krishna. So Krishna is a Sanskrit name for God, who addresses God in the most attractive form. It's a very sweet name of the Lord. So in the spiritual world, Krishna, he takes birth from the womb of Mother Yashoda, because she's got so much love and affection. She wants God to be her child. And God, he is unconquerable, but he's conquered by one thing. That is what?
Love.
Love. Love. So the Supreme Lord who can Sarvakana Karanam, he is the cause of everything. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataham sarvam pravatite iti macha bhajante mam buddhavava samanditaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. That Supreme Lord who can create millions and millions of universes without even dropping one drop of sweat off his forehead. He is conquered by the love of Mother Yashoda, and he takes birth from her womb. And he grows up very sweet little Gopal. And he's running around in the village naked, with just a little belt around his around his waist. And he's got kajal, dark eyeliner around his eyes, so he doesn't get Bujinaga. Mother Yashoda is worried about him getting some tantric curse. So I've got to protect my little boy. She doesn't know that he's the supreme origin of everything. She just thinks, he's my little Lala, and I must protect him. Very sweet. So little Krishna is running around, and Krishna's mischievous. So sometimes Krishna, he likes to steal butter. He's Makanchor. He's the butter thief. So he's going around the different houses in the village and he's stealing butter. He's stealing yogurt. Because those village people, they are offering their butter to the Supreme Lord. They have one altar at home and they're offering, "Oh Narayan, please take this butter." But they don't know that Supreme Narayan, he's in the house next door as little Gopal and running around, and then he comes in and they want the Lord to come and take the butter. But they can't see because their love is so condensed. That Lord is coming and by force he's taking it. But then the Vedic Brahmanas, they are chanting their mantras. Om Prajapati Vishnu Rishi Gayatri Chandra Yoga Swaha, offering so many oblations and nothing happens. Supreme Lord doesn't come. But when the residents of Braja, they have so much love for the Supreme Lord, they don't even need to offer. Krishna is breaking in and just taking because he wants to taste your love. He doesn't care about the offering. But from Pushram Phalam, you can offer him a leaf, a flower, a little bit of water. But if there's love, Krishna is running. You take one step to Krishna, he's taking 10 steps to you, because he's very hungry to taste your rasa, the special love you have in your heart. And each one of us has a particular flavor of love. Krishna is just waiting to relish. So this is some of the deeper meaning behind Krishna's Leela of being the butter thief. One day, Krishna and his little gang of friends, they had broken into one house, and they were stealing yogurt this time. And then his friends heard someone coming, so they all ran away. And Krishna's little hand was in the yogurt pot, looking around, and then that lady at the house called him and said, "Hey, Chor, I've caught you." And then Krishna, so sweet, so adorable, just looks at her, "Oh, mama." Not really a mama, but... And she says, "What are you doing?" And Krishna says, "I was looking for my calf, my pet calf." And then she said, "Oh, your pet calf is in my yogurt pot, is it?" And then Krishna says, "Yes." Even Krishna's lies are true, because Krishna has Gatana Prasasti Shakti. He has the power to make the impossible possible. So then he takes out his little lotus hand, and what's in his hand? A little toy marble calf. And then the lady looks at that, oh, so sweet, she cracks a smile, and then relinquishes her grip a little bit. Krishna runs away and runs outside. So Krishna is very sweet. And then another time, Krishna and his gang of thieves, they broke into one, or they're waiting for an opportune moment, and the lady of the manor, she had gone outside to actually, Krishna and his friends, they let the baby calves out of that Goshala, out of that house. And then the mother saw, she said, "Oh no, the calves are out, better run out and bring them back." And then as that lady was trying to bring the calves back into the pen, they broke into the house and they were stealing butter, they were stealing yogurt, and then they saw one auntie, she was in bed asleep. So then they took the empty yogurt pots and they dragged them into the bedroom of the auntie, and then they put some remnants of yogurt on the hands of the auntie and on her face.
Oh, no.
And then they went outside and hid at the window. And then that Mataji came back in, saw yogurt all over the floor, followed the trail into the mother-in-law's room. "Hey, what are you doing?" And then Krishna and his friends had a good laugh, and then they ran away. So Krishna was very playful. And another time, Krishna was caught red-handed stealing butter. And this gopi, she had a very firm grasp on the hand of Krishna, and Krishna was feeling ashamed. So then, with the sari of that gopi, he covered his face. And then that gopi, she took the hand of Krishna, that Mataji, and she took him to the house of Mother Yashoda. "Mother Yashoda! Mother Yashoda! I have caught your chore, your thief, and I have proof." Because parents are always thinking, "Not my boy. No, he's very sweet. He's very innocent." So Mother Yashoda, she was always thinking like this. But now this Mataji was saying, "No, now red-hand him. I have caught your son stealing butter from my house." And then Mother Yashoda thought, "Oh, not my boy." That little boy was still standing there with his sari over his head in shame. And then, from behind them, Krishna walked out of his room, rubbing his eyes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Mother Yashoda said, "Oh, but my Lala, he's asleep in his room." And so Krishna just came out, and that Mataji, she's still holding the little boy. And Krishna came up, "Oh, what's happening, Mother? Very innocent, very lovely." And then that Mataji was shocked. "How's Krishna there? I'm still holding him." And then she removed that veil, and it was her own son. So very shamefully, she walked away. And then Krishna said to Mother Yashoda, "See, they're always making false accusations, but I'm very innocent, Mother." And then Mother Yashoda said, "Oh, that was very strange," and she walked off. And then that mother, she's still holding the hand of her little boy, very red, blushing. And then she looked down at her little boy, and it was Krishna.
Krishna.
And then Krishna says, "Don't do that again. Don't tell on me. And if you do it again, next time, He'll be your husband. Because Krishna is Yogeshwar. He has all mystic powers. So Krishna is very playful. So there's one very famous pastime, Damodar Leela. So this was in the month of Kartik, around October, November, very holy month on the Vedic calendar. And the day was Deepavali, or maybe the day after, big public holiday. And Mother Yashoda and Krishna, they were sleeping in bed. And Mother Yashoda, she woke up and she was thinking, my little Lala, he's always stealing butter from other people's houses. There's rumours going around. But Krishna's father has 900,000 cows. So many cows. Why does he go around stealing butter? Doesn't he like the butter that we make? So today, I will take the milk from my most special cow and I will churn that yogurt into butter and I'll make a very delicious preparation. And he'll be so captivated by this, he'll have no taste to want to go out and steal anymore. So thinking like this, Mother Yashoda, she slipped out of bed and she took one cushion because Krishna's arm was over his mother, and she slipped one cushion in. So Krishna's arm was still there, little baby Krishna. And so little baby Krishna was thinking, my mum is still here. And Mother Yashoda went out and she put some milk onto boil. And at the same time, then she was churning the yogurt. And as she was churning the yogurt, she was absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna, in the names of Krishna. Because all the village folk in Brajmandal, their centerpiece, their focal point is Krishna. Even if they think he's a thief, they still love him. They love him so much. So she was absorbed in the pastimes of Krishna, and she was singing, Govinda Damodaya Madhaveti, Govinda Damodaya Madhaveti, Govinda Damodaya Madhaveti, Govinda Damodaya Madhaveti. Hey Krishna, Hey Adava, Hey Saketi, Govinda Damodaya Madhaveti. So as this was going on, Mother Yashoda, she was absorbed in Krishna now. And Krishna has two avatars, two forms. His original root, his original form, but he also has sonic avatar, Nam avatar. So he exists in his personal form, but also in the form of his sound vibration, and are non-different. So she was absorbed in the Nam, the sound, the name of Krishna. And then Krishna woke up and realized he'd been cheated. There was a pillow, this is not my mama. And then so he started crying. He wanted to drink some milk. He was crying and crying, but because Mother Yashoda was absorbed in Krishna Nam, she didn't hear him. So then little Krishna, he's just so little, so charming and little at this point, he couldn't even jump straight out of bed. So there's a defining verse in the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam. This is the Paribhasic Sutra of the entire 10th canto. And basically it's saying that Lord who is worshipped through the system of yoga, through Sankhya, Vedic metaphysics, through so many different modalities, that Supreme Lord that barely anyone can touch or have darshan of, that Lord, Mother Yashoda just sees him as her own little boy. This is the speciality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. First understand Krishna as God, Nama Ishwaram, then forget Krishna as God. Because if you know, when there's awe and majesty, the love goes down. And Krishna says, this kind of love doesn't please me. Because Krishna wants Narabat, human-like relationship with your soul. And if you know, my best friend's God, what happened when Arjuna saw the Virat root? I thought you were my friend, but now I realize you're the whole universe and you're the creation of everything. This is terrifying. This wasn't pleasing to Arjuna or to Krishna. And then Arjuna prayed, please just bring back your two-handed form as my friend. So Krishna just wants to have natural human like Naravat Leela with every living entity. So we have to move past this Aishwarya. But first we have to understand that Krishna is Sarvakana Karanam, the cause of all causes, or else how will you be able to take shelter at his lotus feet? But then, as our bhakti increases, forget Krishna's God. And he's just little Lala, he's my friend, like this. So, little Krishna on the bed, he had to turn over and slide down on his belly to get off the bed, and little lotus feet on the floor. So then little Krishna, he's walking up, twinkling ankle bells around his foot to see Mother Yashoda. And so she's turning the yogurt, and then she feels a tug on her sari. And it's little baby Krishna. And he's wanting a feed. But then, just then, the milk starts boiling over. And then Mother Yashoda, she actually started to feed Krishna, yeah? And then she put Krishna down, and she went to go take care of the milk. That milk's also for Krishna's pleasure. So whatever Yashoda Mai does, it's always for Krishna's pleasure. But little Krishna was hungry, because Mother Yashoda's breast milk, that is liquefied love. That is condensed love. It's the same, almost the same thing for any mortal. That's the love to have. And that's why in Vedic culture, the cow is also like mother, because she's giving milk that nourishes us like mother. So today we can also remember on Mother's Day, the cow, because she is like mother. So Mother Yashoda, she put Krishna down to take care of the milk that's boiling over. But Krishna, he was not happy, because he still wanted to taste the milk. So then Krishna picked up one stone and broke the yogurt pot. Sometimes kids don't think so much, before they're especially when they're angry. So then the yogurt started to go everywhere. Krishna was thinking, uh-oh, my mother's not going to be happy about this. So then he fled the scene a little bit, and Yashoda Mai came back, saw the yogurt everywhere, and Krishna, what happened to the yogurt? Oh, it was the monkeys. The monkeys done it, mother. I don't see any monkeys around here. Oh, it was your nupur, it was your ankle bells. As you ran off to take care of the boiling over milk, your ankle bells hit the yogurt pot, and that's what broke the yogurt pot. So Krishna had so many excuses, but Mother Yashoda was seeing right through it. So then she thought, I need to give discipline to this Krishna. So some people, they are in fear of God. I must worship God or else I'm going to go to hell forever. But Mother Yashoda, she took up a stick, and she was thinking, that is the same God that people are worshipping in fear. I must discipline this guy, because if I don't discipline him, he'll grow up to be a very mischievous character, and who knows what he'll do. Meet with so many village girls in the middle of the night, he might steal their clothes. We don't know what this Krishna will get up to, so I must make him a very good character. So, because, now in modern culture, there's a whole movement against disciplining your children. And of course the pendulum can swing too far. And often we see that if children don't get some discipline when they're younger, they grow up to very immoral characters, like the sons of Kuvir, who was, that's actually coming in this story, who was cursed by Narad Rishi. So Mother Yashoda thought, I better discipline this little Krishna. And then Krishna, in fear, and Sachivat Rishi, he's relishing this moment in his bhajan, in his deep meditative trance. He's seeing this in his own vision, that supreme cause of all causes, Krishna. He's seeing, and his eyes become wide, that his mum is going to discipline him. And with genuine fear, Krishna's running. Krishna's running away from his mother. Death personified is scared of Krishna, but Krishna's afraid of his mother. So then Krishna's running away, and Mother Yashoda, she's chasing after Krishna. And she's running here and there. Mother Yashoda, she's quite a little bit plump. So she can't quite keep up with Krishna. And then Krishna has a plan. My mum didn't get finished decorating herself nicely, didn't put on her makeup, didn't put on her ankle bells, so she won't want to go out in public. so I'll just go out of the courtyard and I'll run out onto the street, and then in this way, Mama can't catch me. So Krishna ran out of the courtyard, and Yashoda Mai got to the doorway, but it was Deepavali, public holiday, no one's on the street, so she looked left and looked right, no one was there. Carried on, I'm going to catch that Krishna. So she was running after Krishna with a stick in her hand, running here and there. And then Yashoda Mai, she got a little bit tired, so then she gestured to Krishna, because she had the stick in her right hand, I think it was the right hand, that she was going to throw the stick at Krishna. So, and Krishna turned around and looked, and then he flinched a little bit that the stick was going to come towards him. And then just at that moment, Mother Yashoda caught his hand and then took Krishna by the hand and said, right, now you're coming with me. And then she was taking Krishna back into the house, back into the courtyard of their place. And then she was seeing, oh, Krishna's really, some tears were coming and he was really scared actually. She thought, I don't want to traumatize my child, so she put down the stick. And then she thought, I'm going to tie Krishna to this grinding mortar to teach him a lesson, to stay in one place. So then she took Krishna there, and actually Krishna allowed himself to be caught by Mother Yashoda, because no one can catch Krishna. No one. Our material, Nahi Prakra Gochara, it's said in Vedanta that the spiritual energy never comes under the jurisdiction of the material energy. So your mind, your intelligence, your ego, your senses, your sense perception, your tools for scientific investigation, they're all the material energy. They're all the three gunas, the three modes of material nature. And Krishna says, I exist above the three gunas. And if everyone's looking in the three gunas, the three modes of material nature, you won't find God in his original form there. So there's nothing you can do in that sphere of material world to know God and truth. So God cannot be captured by your own effort. So we have to act in such a way that God wants to reveal himself to us. That's why we come to the mandir, we come to the temple, we come and offer some service. We live our life in such a way it's an offering to God. Because if there's an all-powerful being and I don't know him, therefore the inference is it's because he doesn't want me to know him right now. But God's eager to relish our love. So we have to act in such a way that that then becomes unappealed, favourable towards wanting to reveal himself to us. And then when he sees our bhav, when he sees our mood, oh then Krishna, oh yes, I want to reveal myself to you. That I'm one makkanchor, one butter thief, and very soon I'm coming to capture your heart. So Krishna, seeing the exasperation of his mother and seeing, oh, she really just loves me and wants my good, he allowed himself to be caught by his mother. And then Mother Yashoda, she was trying to catch him, tie him up, and she got some cloth and then more cloth, and no matter how many times she tried to tie Krishna around the belly to the grinding mortar, she was always 2 fingers too short, and she got more cloth and rope. And she's coming from a cowherd family. Cowherders have a lot of rope, so even more rope, always 2 fingers too short. Because why? Krishna, everything exists within the body of Krishna, so he's unlimited. So it doesn't matter how much rope you get, you can never tie up Krishna, because his body is bigger than the whole universe. So there's so much deep philosophy and metaphysics in these pastimes of Krishna also. So much Siddhanta. But again, seeing the efforts of Mother Yashoda, and these 2 fingers also have a representation. One represents Kripa, and one represents sadhana. So in South India, in the Sri Sampradaya, they basically had 2 divisions in their Sampradaya, in their tradition. And one follows the logic of the monkey, and the other follows the logic of the kitten. So the logic of the kitten is, there's a baby kitten, very helpless, and then the mother, who in the same jaws that that mother cat will kill a rat, very softly she picks up her baby kitten and she places it very lovingly somewhere else. So this represents Kripa, God's mercy, just waiting for God to help us out, praying, waiting for God's mercy. And then the other school, monkey logic. If you've ever seen a baby monkey, it's holding on to the mother for dear life, going through the trees at 1,000,000 miles an hour. If that baby monkey lets go, it's finished, it's falling to the ground. So that represents sadhana, one's own effort. So these two fingers it takes your own effort, but it also takes God's grace. Ultimately, it's God's grace, but there's a saying in the tradition of Zen, spiritual awakening is an accident, but spiritual practice makes you accident prone. So when God sees you performing some effort, then you become more eligible to receive grace. But also, particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his grace, he's freely distributing everywhere. But some effort is helpful. Like God's mercy is blowing everywhere, but we have to put up our sail. You know? So that's what the two fingers represent. And so finally, Krishna, he feels compassion to his mother and he allows himself to be tied up to the grinding water. And then Mother Yashoda leaves him. Think about your actions. Put him in the naughty corner. Take some time out. And Mother Yashoda leaves the vicinity. And then Krishna's friends come along and they start to tease him a little bit and they're hanging out with them. And then Krishna, they're trying to push over the grinding water. And they push it over and then Krishna's crawling and he's trying to drag the grinding water and he's moving the grinding. This is a very big, heavy thing. And actually, every year when we go to Braj Mandal, we go to that exact spot where this grinding water pastime took place, because all these pastimes of Krishna, they're like a road show. And once in a day of Lord Brahma, 311 trillion years, Krishna brings some of these pastimes to this earth planet, and then he goes off to the next one. So that's happening on a circumambulation of all the earth planets and the different material universes. So 5,000 years ago, this pastime took place here on earth in India. And every year we go on pilgrimage, and one of the places we visit where this exact pastime took place. So Krishna is crawling with this grinding mortar tied to him, and then he comes to two trees, and then he's got the grinding mortar between the two trees. And he's pulling. Sometimes kids aren't so smart, right? So he's pulling, and then those two trees, they start to move. These are like huge kauri trees or something. And then those trees, they fall over. Big, tremendous thud and crash, and all the residents of Braja, they become in shock. Whoa, what was that? Was that the pralaya, the end of the world? And then from those two trees, two beautiful celestial beings manifest. And so there's just Krishna there, and then his little cowherd friends. And they see these two celestial beings arise from these trees. And then Krishna's like, "Who are you?" And then those beings says, we're Nalakumir and Manigriv, and we are the sons of Kuvir. Kuvir is the treasure of the demigods. And a very long time ago, we were enjoying on the heavenly planets in the forest, and we were enjoying with the Apsaras, that is the celestial dancing girls. And so they were in one natural spa in the forest, one natural hot spring, and they were sitting there drinking some mead, some honey wine, and enjoying with the Apsaras and the beautiful celestial forest. And then one sage, Narad Muni, comes along. And then those two boys, because they're the son of the treasure of the demigods, so imagine how much wealth their father is handling, you know? And so they grow up to be a little bit spoiled, and they don't give respect. So Narad Rishi, a great celestial sage, is coming along, and then those Apsaras, those damsels, they cover themselves because they feel some respect to their elders. But those two people, they're like, Nalakumir and Manigriv, those brothers, they're like, "Hey, get out of here, you're ruining our fun, we're enjoying with the Apsaras, get out of here, old man." And then Narad Rishi's like, "Oh, you have a mentality of trees, so become trees." And then, oh no, please be merciful to us. And then Narada Rishi says, well, I've already spoken, so you must become trees, but I give the boon. When Krishna comes to earth to perform his Prakat Leela, he will liberate you. So when Krishna, he's pulling the grinding water, those two trees fall over, and then those celestial beings, they are released from their curse, and they give some beautiful prayers to Krishna, and then they return to their celestial abode with some more humble state of mind.
What was their names?
Nalakul Mira, Nalakul Veer, and Manigriv.
Nalkuver.
And Manigriv. Something like that. And it's actually quite close also to where Putana came. Those, you can walk from the two places.
I've heard about this story before. I don't forgot the names of the.
Is it Jamal Arjun?
Hmm?
Jamal Arjun is different thing.
Jamala.
Jamal Arjun. So are those the names?
I think that's the name of the trees, the
Trees,
actual
yeah.
type of tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the beans that were within the trees.
Yeah.
So then those beings, they leave, and then the adults come on the scene. Mother Yashoda, oh my son! So she comes running, hysterical, like mothers love, right? Always worried about children. And then all the village folk come, and then the kids are like, there was two beings that came out from the tree, and they were offering prayers to Krishna. And then the village folks are like, oh, kids and their tall tales. What really happened? Because they just have natural human-like affection. They just love God very naturally. And then Mother Yashoda, she's feeling some repentance. My son could have been killed. I tied him to that grinding wheel and these trees fell over. She was starting to feel really bad. And then Nanda Baba, that's Krishna's father, came along. Krishna's got a mother, of course he's got a father, why not? Nanda Baba. So Nanda Baba has 900,000 cows. We also go to Nanda Baba's Goshala when we go in Brajmandal Barikam. And we also go to the maternity ward where Mother Yashoda gave birth to Krishna. That's still existing today.
Mother Yashoda didn't give him birth.
Yes, this is a rahasya, because many people think that Krishna appeared simultaneously at two places at once. He done Abhivav Titi in the prison cell of Kamsa Maharaj, right? From Devaki and Vasudeva. But this is Aishwarya Krishna, because he appeared and he had 4 arms. This is not Naravat, this is not human-like. So this represents the form of God that is Aishwarya, where there's knowledge of the Bhagavata, that Krishna is God. And he's got 4 arms. And he appeared with a whole mukha and paraphernalia. That would hurt if you gave birth to that, right? So he just appeared. He was inside the womb of Devaki, and then outside he was just there.
So Devaki gave him birth, right?
Well, he appeared. It's not Janma.
He's right.
So we celebrate Janmashtami, but Janma means birth. But he didn't appear. He didn't take birth from Devaki. He got Anubhav Titi. He appeared. But simultaneously, in Gokul, then it's written in the Sastra, in the scriptures, just like a lotus flower moves in the wind, then Krishna appeared from the womb of Mother Yashoda. So,
There was that girl that got exchanged.
yeah, okay, so we'll share a little bit about that. So
Confusing.
it is confusing because at the same time Krishna appeared in the prison cell of Kamsa, Mother Yashoda gave birth to Krishna naturally, like an ordinary human mother in Gokul.
So Mother Yashoda gave birth to
She
Krishna.
gave birth because it's Naravat, it's human-like. And then, due to the influence of Yoga Maya,
We have heard a different story.
No.
Hmm?
Not really. We haven't heard about that.
because this is, if you think that
Is it
Krishna,
written somewhere?
it's 100% written in Sastra. It's written in Bhagavatam. I can give you the shloka, but
But
this
it's
is why you have.
always when we see Janmashtami and whenever there's this a play or something. So there's a girl which is born.
Yes,
And they
yes.
exchange
Subhadra.
it. Yeah.
We'll get to this. Because if you think Krishna appeared, the original Krishna appeared in Mathura, you're a Mathurabasi. You're not a Brajbasi. If you want to be a Brajbasi, you have to hear this katha from a Braj Rasid Vaishnava, and then he can enter you into the rahasya of the Bhagavatam. But if you have Aishwarya Gyan, then you'll be stuck on the platform of the Abhibharatiti that he appeared, and you'll never be able to know Krishna in Naravat Leela. You'll always know Krishna is Bhagavata, he is God, and this won't please Krishna, and these rahasyas, these intimate leelas won't be revealed to you. So there was two appearances simultaneously. One in the Janmastan in Mathura, but also in Gokul. And so all the residents of Braja, they know that Krishna is the son of Mother Yashoda and he took birth. And the shloka is right there in Bhagavatam. It says it. But unless you're hearing from a Brajrasa Vaishnava, you won't catch it. So it's very important to hear from very elevated Vaishnavas. Otherwise you'll stay on the platform of Aishwarya Gyan and you won't be able to forget that Krishna is God, and you won't really be able to enter into the heart of the Bhagavatam. So due to the influence of Yoga Maya, after Mother Yashoda gave birth to Krishna, then she gave birth to a daughter, Yoga Maya. But due to the influence of Yoga Maya, and all the residents didn't know, how many kids she gave birth to, and then everyone fell asleep. And then Vasudeva brought baby Krishna across the Jamuna, right, in flood, and then that Aishwarya Krishna with 4 arms entered into the body of the 2-armed Krishna, because the 2-armed Krishna is the original form of Krishna, and the 4-armed form is the Vaibhav Prakash. It's not Swayam Prakash. So that is the opulent Vaikuntha feature, the 4-armed form. 2-armed form there's no about. Have you ever seen a human baby with 4 arms? It's not human-like. So that 4-armed form entered into the 2-armed form. Then he picked up the baby girl and he took her back to the prison cell of Kamsa. But what happened? Then Kamsa Maharaj took that Yoga Maya, that Swarup Shakti, that original form of the Devi, took it, and when he took it, he was going to kill her, right? Smash her on the rock. And then she manifests as Mahamaya. And as Mahamaya, that's Kamsa's Ishtadev. And said, you fool, that person who's going to kill you has already appeared somewhere else. This is the Praman in the Bhagavatam right there. He's already appeared somewhere else, not here, but that is Gokul. So then, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, how one approaches me, I reciprocate accordingly. So that same spiritual energy in the hands of Kamsa Maharaj, because he has egoic consciousness, she appeared as Mahamaya, not as Yoga Maya. So there's many mysteries and secrets. Krishna is quite confusing his birth. There's many complexities there. So coming back to Damodar Leela, those 2 trees had fallen over. The village folks were there, and then Nanda Baba came, and he was trying to untie Krishna, but just push the door. You locked it.
Maybe you locked it. Oh my God.
So then,
Thank you.
so with some difficulty, just like opening the door, Nanda Baba was trying to untie Krishna from the grinding mortar. But why did Nanda Baba have difficulty untying Krishna? Anyone know? Who tied Krishna up?
Yashoda.
So why would he have difficulty?
Because his love is much stronger than his father.
Yeah, a mother's love is more strong than the father's. Because Mother Yashoda had tied him up, then because that's a lot of love. So Nanda Baba was having difficulty undoing the knot of Yashoda
But
Maya.
didn't he because he was drawing the whole thing with him, the mortar, little Krishna, didn't he move, and they didn't get it untied by himself?
There's Harikatha Kalpabedeshu. So different days in Lord Brahma, the pastimes are slightly different. So in one, Nanda Baba, he's trying to untie, but he has difficulty because of the love of Mother Yashoda. So finally he unties him, and then Mother Yashoda, she's feeling so bad. So then she goes into the Antapur within the Vedic house. It's in a square, and then there's a garden, and then within the garden there's the Antapur where only Matajis, only females are allowed. And so Mother Yashoda goes into there and she's feeling terrible. I could have killed my son just because I lost my temper and I tied him up and I wanted to discipline him. So she's feeling so bad. And she's actually in there for some days. And Balaram, Krishna, Nanda Baba, they're hanging out together. And Nanda Baba, he takes Krishna and Balaram to the Goshala, and then milking the cows, Nanda Baba is squirting fresh milk from the teat of the cow into the mouth of Balaram and little Krishna to comfort them and give them a feed. And then after some time, Mother Yashoda comes out, veil over her head, just feeling so bad. Almost killed my little Krishna. So then, Nanda Baba, he's wanting to set things right, to bring everyone, bring the happy family together again. So then, Nanda Baba, he brings Krishna to Yashoda Mai, and then he asks Krishna, do you forgive your mother? No, I don't forgive my mother. Krishna's like this, you know. And so Mother Yashoda, she's feeling even worse. So Nanda Baba, he's also very intelligent. He's thinking, how can I break Krishna's mom, his sulky mood? So
I would be interested in that shloka which says that he was born to Yashoda.
I can provide, no problem.
Because that's a concept which is not going into us for the last, like, getting this. We all the songs, all the
Yeah, there are so
they're
many
like,
songs saying.
they're like that. So I'm not challenging
You've got
you.
too
I'm
much.
just trying to
Yeah.
understand where it came from, because why it didn't come to anybody else in the teachings wherever we sat. So that's not. But how you have brought up, it's a matter of understanding, matter of learning, matter of increasing the knowledge. So yeah, no, certainly with appreciating what you have brought, bringing that, but love to say, not challenging, please. It's like to increase the knowledge.
I can share that with you, and then how you want to relate to that. That's your own
So
thing.
that concept goes into deep into, which is to kill that concept from inside and to bring that one, and Krishna will remain still. Krishna will still remain Krishna.
Yeah,
That is nobody can change it. But that particular thing, it's not going somehow, because we were always told like that. We were all the prayers are like that, and we have been hearing like that, and this is for the first time, I think, for the few people who are sitting here who have been associated or maybe from India. So we didn't. It's somehow not. We are not able to imbibe it. But yes, with due respect, we'd love to see and increase our knowledge and
Yeah,
where
sure.
is that
I will share
coming
that in the
from,
group.
and why it's not being or why it's. If you are saying it today, so why it has not been said in Dwarka or Vrindavans or our uncles, aunties living there in Mathuras and all? Nobody said that particular part. So this has to be something which is very unique, which you are bringing. So would be interesting.
This Narada, intimate, human-like relationship with the Supreme Lord is also very confidential. It's very confidential. Krishna doesn't just reveal this to anyone. And so many people, because Krishna, yayatha pradyante tamstataiva bhajamyaham, how one approaches me, I reciprocate accordingly. So if you're coming with Aishwarya Bhav, knowledge of opulence and reverence, he will manifest in that way. But if you are very, very fortunate and you get even one nimesha, 1/11th of a second, that's not the right word I'm looking for, but it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita, if you get 1/11th of a second association with a Braj Rasik Vaishnava, then the door to this very intimate Madhurya can open to you. And therefore, like Govinda Maharaj, he would say, you're reading, but you're reading in the dark. Because this sloka that I'm referring to, it's there, right there in Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. Because the speciality of our Gaudiya tradition is all founded on Sastra. It's all founded on Sastra. So right there in Sastra, Srila Prabhupada has written it. But we can read 1,000 times, but we won't catch it unless we're hearing from the Vaishnava, the Brajrasa Vaishnava who's in that Madhurya relationship with the Lord. Only because that sweetness, that sweet relationship is existing in the heart of that Vaishnava, that's the light that can illuminate it to us. Otherwise, we will stay on that platform of Aishwarya, which is also great, but also in that Bhajan Damadarasa come from Satyavat Rishi, it starts with Nama Ishwaram, Satchidananda Rupam Sakundalam. First understand Krishna is Ishwara, the Supreme Lord. You can't jump ahead into the intimate. You have to know that Krishna is Supreme Lord. That is the Pravishwara. He's the Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam. He's the cause of all causes. First, that's the Praman. You have to have that foundation. That's why Jiva Goswami is given Tattva Sandarbha from all epistemology, everything, establishing that. You have to have the strong foundation. From there, you can build the Rasa Mahal, the temple of Rasa. So first we need the Aishwarya. And then gradually, we can enter into these rahasyas. So, Mother Yashoda, she was feeling so bad. And Nanda Baba was thinking, how can I break the man of my little boy? So then Nanda Baba said to Krishna, do you want me to discipline your mother? I'll teach you never to do that again. And then baby Krishna, no. And he jumped out of the arms of Nanda Baba and into the arms of Yashoda Maya. He said, Mama, I love you, Mama. This was a trick from Nanda Baba to break the man of Krishna. And then in this way, the loving family was restored. So this is some pastimes of Yashoda Maya on Mother's Day and her little Lala baby Krishna. Yashoda Maya ki
Jai.
Krishna Kanaya ki
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Go Premanandi.
Hari Hari.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
patiently listening. Any other questions or thoughts, reflections, complaints?
It's not appropriate for us to complain.
Nothing.
You focus on the positive.
Yeah, it's so lovely. It's
Yeah,
so
thankful, grateful for it.
Really thankful. These things, the way you explain the things, it's really, we have not heard that way. The way it comes from you from inside. Earlier also I told you once I was sitting there in our house itself. The way that time you spoke about Radha's importance, and we always play Krishna, but Radha, if we always say Radhe Krishna is a much better, because Krishna loves it, right? That's what you told that time. So every time you give us a very different, thing to ponder over and to imbibe, and we really thankful. So lovely.
The Bhagavatam has given the most highest position to two categories, two exemplars of bhakti. And they are both female. The gopis and Mother Yashoda. So on this Mother's Day, we remember that feminine devotion.
Also Devaki.
And Devaki. That's in Dwarka.
You're forgetting Devaki.
That's in Dwarka. So, which is also Krishna.
Yeah.
No problem. But we love Krishna and Braja. So we are a product of our association. And we should see very carefully the mission that Srila Prabhupada has shared with us. He has established no Dwarkadish Murtis in any of his temples. Followers have, but Srila Prabhupada never has. He's only established Braj Rasik Murtis. So he's giving us this Madhurya Krishna, Kevala Madhurya, exclusively sweet, but that platform so high. First we have to understand I'm not this body and I'm not this mind, and if we just do that we're doing really well, right? We're doing really well. But you know, once the devotees came to Srila Prabhupada, he was trying to establish the temple in Mumbai, and you know they tried to purchase some land, and then the Indians were trying to cheat and you know trying to sell a title that 5-9 people have the title to, and then the devotees came to Prabhupada and he said, "Oh, these Indians, they're all cheaters." And then Prabhupada says, "I'm an Indian. Am I cheating you?" And then they were like, "Oh no, sorry, Prabhupada." And then Prabhupada said, "I am cheating you." Because if you knew what it actually takes to become Krishna consciousness, you would be put off and you'd run away. So he's made some concessions to enter us into the fold of bhakti. And it's true. Chant Hare Krishna, become happy, go back to Godhead. But in the fine print, it's chant purely. And to chant purely is not so easy. It takes a long time of practice. And this because sadhana, the practice, leads to sadhya. What is the goal of our practice? So in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the goal is Krishna, who is the son of Mother Yashoda. And he's avatari, he's the source of all avatars. So Dwakadish Krishna, Maturish Krishna, they're all in the body of that Krishna. That's why the 4-armed Krishna merged into the 2-armed form. Because he is the original, because he's the abode of love. And so to get to that level, it's very, very high. But there's nothing high. So when we come to some even little realization of that, we will be sustan pushpanjali, offer our heart millions of times at the lotus feet of our acharyas and what they are giving to us. It's so amazing. So we're very fortunate to be even touching the air that touches that is the katar of this Brajendra Nandananda Krishna, and to be offering any service to Prabhupada, anything. We're so fortunate because this is the most intimate personal aspect of the Supreme Lord that they are sharing with us, and that'll just keep revealing more and more layers. Just like in that bhajan of Satyavat Rishi, each shloka deeper and deeper and deeper revelation. And then in the last one, that feminine form, who is the highest embodiment of all devotion, Namo Radhikaye Twadya Priyaye, Radharani. So that's why the Bhagavatam, Mother Yashoda, and the gopis, and who has the highest love of all the gopis? Radharani. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. I've got all night, so no, yeah. Okay.
So thinking of mothers, I was curious what you might say about Putana, because she offered her breast to Krishna with the intention of killing him, and then he gave her the place of his mother, right, in Goloka Vrindavan. So just
wonderful point. Wonderful.
Just wondered if you could say something, because you will probably know heaps more than I do about that. So
We'll just mention something briefly. So I'm sure most of you know the pastime of Putana. So Krishna's uncle actually was a demon, Kamsa Maharaj, and sent so many demons to kill Krishna because he had enmity to Krishna. So he sent one demon called Putana to kill Krishna, and she was disguised as a nursemaid. So she put some poison on her breast, and then she offered her breast to baby Krishna. And she actually looked like Lakshmi. She was so beautiful. All the residents in that house of Mother Yashoda, wow. And they were just stunned. And she walked straight in, took Krishna, and offered her breast to Krishna. And so then Krishna, he started to suckle her breast. And Krishna doesn't see your faults. But pure Vaishnava doesn't see faults. He sees potential. So Krishna's thinking, she's looking completely past the fact that she's come to kill me. Oh, Mama, she's come to offer me something. Patrapusham Phalam. If you just come with some poison on your breast, I will accept it. So Krishna took that, and if we are absorbed in Krishna, all of our anarthas, all of the unwanted things in our heart, Chaturdapana Marjanam, they will be cleansed. And so out of all the different forms of the Lord, Krishna gives the highest thing. So just seeing, even though that Putana had come to kill Krishna because she'd come like a mother, then Krishna liberated her by extracting all the poison and sucking her life air out of her body, but awarded her the eternal position as a nursemaid in the spiritual world. So other avatars, they don't do this, but Krishna's avatari, he's the source of all avatars. So in Lord Ram, you'll see that the different demons, they take birth again. But in Krishna Leela, that is full stop. Everything comes to its conclusion in Krishna Leela. And anything left untied, Gaura Leela. But they're kind of the same. So everything reaches its full stop in Krishna, its completion. So even if you come to Krishna with enmity, but you're absorbed, he will give you liberation. He will give you the highest thing. Just like Shishupal had so much enmity to Krishna, but he merged into the body of Krishna, and then Saruja Mukti, and then took Salakya and Sarupya Mukti. So Krishna is very, very merciful. So when a great saint comes, like Prabhupada, like the pure Vaishnavas, they don't see, oh, he's this fault and that fault. Oh, here's some being that has some inclination to Krishna. Let me engage them. Let me put them out in the sun so their hard, frozen heart can thaw and that natural loving propensity to serve Krishna can manifest. So thank you for bringing that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So now we'll have a little bit of kirtan.